Hey guys, it's Jason at Mustang Rehab. In an effort to have full disclosure on a Bronco build, this is just something else that you end up having to do. And what we're going to do today, we got to pressure wash the frame and engine, the transfer case and all that stuff, get it all ready to go so we can disassemble it and start doing our suspension work. Anyways, I got my squirrels back with me today. They're going to help me do some pressure washing if I can keep them here very long. So if you see them disappear, they couldn't stand it anymore. So, anyways, again, this is something you all can do without my help. I've tried to show you from one end to the other, and this is just another part. So, here we go. Okay guys, we got done pressure washing it a little while ago. I took a little break, went swimming with the girls. Anyways, I pulled the engine out, engine, transmission, transfer case. I didn't video it because it was a little sketchy with what I was having to do to get it out. And I wouldn't recommend anybody doing it the way I just did. And no need to make my mom worry. Anyways, my tractor broke when I was going to pull it, so I had to find other means. So it's out on the trailer, everything's good. Nobody's hurt. But here we are. The frame actually looks really good. I haven't seen any holes yet. So I'm going to hold my judgment until I really get into it. But everything's looking really good, just surface rust, your typical surface rust. I didn't notice anything after washing it. So we'll keep stripping it. I'm going to pull the gas tank and the exhaust and all that kind of stuff out so we can get it in the shop. Because as you guys know, we got suspension coming. I'm going to rebuild the differential, the transfer case. And we'll see what gears are in these differentials. I imagine it's stock, but we'll look into see what kind of gear we want. So we'll do gear replacement videos and all that kind of good stuff. Anyways, if anybody needs a good running 170, that was it. That was the first video we did. We got that engine running. It didn't smoke a drop when we cranked it. So just I don't want to say that it's perfect. You'd probably have to do water pump, that kind of stuff. But if somebody's building a stock Bronco, there you go. You have something to start with. Anyway. All right. So after stripping some more off the Bronco, the bumpers and all, this was my driver side front body mount. It's going to have some work done on it. It's got a little bit of, well, it's rotted out, I've seen this a lot. So we'll end up repairing it or replacing. Passenger side, just surface rust. So that can be blasted off. These are my other body mounts. This one's pretty good. You can tell it had a little bit of rust going on there. But we're looking good there. Passenger side, center, front, and rear, driver rear, and passenger rear. So we will have to fix at least 2 of these body mounts. So add that to the list. But other than that, I don't see any holes. The frame hasn't been butchered. Basically stock. So we got something good to work with here. So, something else I did. I measured the center line of the output shaft on the transfer case. So when I set in my new engine transmission, I can have that location the same, since I am doing a different transmission on this one. So just sort of some of that stuff you got to think about as you move forward with your build. All right, guys. So you've seen the Bronco frame cleaned up, stripped, getting it ready. I've got to do a little bit of cleaning in my shop. Please excuse it. I've told you before, this place gets a mess, and it's in one right now. But to answer a few more questions I had from some of you guys about drivetrain, right now this is what I have. I have a ZF 5-speed I picked up on Facebook Marketplace, and got a great deal. A guy in Florida, a real nice gentleman, and this actually come out of an early Bronco his son had bought, and he went with some other drivetrain. I forget what he did, but he spent some money because the transmission was great, working great in it. He said he couldn't believe his son pulled it out. But so anyways, I have that. You guys let me know in comments, do I need to stick with it or save it for a trail rig that's a little bit more heavy duty? And keep in mind, this one is going to be more of a street pounder. And so what do you think? AOD or stick with a 5-speed? And then engine wise on this one, I have a 302 I bought from a good friend of mine also. It was in a F1 project truck. It drove around. It's probably a 5,000 or 6,000 mile engine. It doesn't look like it because, like a lot of projects, they sit. But we'll pull it down and disassemble it, make sure it's good and freshened up before we put it in. But I've got a new mild lift Lanati camshaft, new Edelbrock intake for it, and all that kind of stuff we'll put on it, and it'll be a nice little strong engine for the street. But so 302 5-speed AOD, what do you guys think? And suspension, we're gonna get a 2.5 inch suspension lift, the twin shock setup, and power front disc brakes. We're going to stick with the drum rears. And let's see, lastly, 1-inch body lift, because I was reading the 1-inch body lift is very helpful with a ZF transmission swap. So I'm doing that just to help give myself a little bit of clearance under that tunnel. But that's where we're at. That's where the project's going. And be back with some content. Going to be working on a buddy's Bronco hopefully this week while we're waiting on some parts. So I'll have a little bit something different coming up into this week. So we'll see you guys then. We appreciate you thumbs up, watching, and subscribing. And tell your buddies. And the channel's growing. Thank you guys. And, see you on the next one. Have a great day.